Alright, welcome back. Well, you hadn't planned your cold crop or your fall garden yet. I don't know. It depends on what area of the country you're in and what type you're planting, as whether it's too late or not. In my area, I think the end of September is probably too late, because the end of October and then November it starts getting cold. I call cold, 40s. It's not freezing, but it's going to slow down the growth of the plants, especially the onions, which look great. I was thinking about varieties. If you watch, any kind of farming video, oh, this is called Jupiter, this variety is called Awesome, this variety right here is called Venus, and that one's called Bluebird. And I didn't realize until a couple years ago that you can go somewhere online and get these varieties. They're not just available to farmers, they're available to everybody. Read the reviews of these companies though, because I've ordered seeds and have yet to get them. And I ordered them late August, I think. Mid-August. I was going to start planting them by the end of August. Like, that great. They send them in the mail. I'll get them probably 4 or 5 days, and that'll be awesome. But no, that's not happening yet. They still haven't come. I've contacted the company. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to put shame on it. It probably isn't their fault. Maybe. But still, I mean, you can go online and get these different varieties, if I can talk right. It's not just for farmers. Anybody can get them, and they do awesome. These are just the standard yellow onions. I got these off of Amazon. I was thinking bullseye. I ordered from the same company. They said they won't be available until the end of September. I'll be planting garlic then. So, I mean, I want the onions to be, these anyway, harvested, and hopefully by then I'm looking probably 1st of October I can plant some more. All my green beans will be done by then, which are looking awesome. If anybody tells you that you cannot grow hybrids from their own seeds, they're lying. I've always heard that myth. These are from the first batch that I grew, the first planting. Once you harvest them from the bean, they're dried down. You can break the pod open, it look like a little Tic Tac. You can just plant them, and I did these just to prove to myself and to everybody else that they do grow. That's why they're so far behind. You can see the adult leaves starting to come in a little bit with new growth down there. They'll catch up. So this variety is bought from Lowe's. It was Blue Lake 235, I believe it was. I've seen Mammoth green beans and all that from online. These do pretty good. I'm just going to grow the generations from the seeds, the beans that I harvest. Now, if you didn't know, hybrid is not anything bad. I know they have Roundup ready plants. These are not it. I'm guarantee you spray Roundup on these, they'll die. But I don't use Roundup anyway in my garden. I don't have to. You shouldn't anyway. Just pull them by hand. It's just crossed between two green bean varieties. One is more resistant to a disease than the other. One gives more yield, the other's more disease resistant. So they just cross them, and that's where you get your hybrid from. Now, a lot of genetics have made Roundup ready plants. Those farmers can spray it on their fields and kill the weeds and not the plant. I mean, that's another reason I try to grow most of my own food. Organic and non-GMO stuff is just higher. All food's high right now, but that's just higher. That's just a given. That's what's going to happen. It's just like these right here. This variety is called Big Bertha. I mean, this right here, this limb actually split. And I just now caught it not too long ago. But as you can see, these things are huge. This is a variety. And this is actually a small one. I got 6 the other day that were twice this size. But they're so heavy, you can see they're splitting the limbs off. And there's 2 hanging on and 3. No, there's none on this. I got the ones that are off that one. But they're still splitting the limbs off the plant. They're just that big. Big Bertha. Now these 4 plants, along with the 4 tomato plants I had, I just broke, that died. Well, 2 of them died, the other 2 are hanging on. I bought it at a country store for $5, You won't even get 2 plants at big box stores for that. I was just lucky as a little country store up the road from our house that grows their own plants, and if you're lucky enough to find something like that, by all means, take advantage of it. That saves you a lot of money, because I probably got, well, the ones in the grocery store are not that long. They're actually shorter and actually about this size. I've probably got, if I'd had to buy at the grocery store, probably $30 worth of bell peppers off these 4 plants. And they're growing more. I mean, they're loaded with them. So, that's an awesome thing. I'm just glad I caught this one when it broke. But yeah, I mean, that's all I wanted to say. The varieties that you see on these farming channels, you can get them anywhere. Don't laugh at my snake. It works. These haven't been chewed on by rabbits. So yes, the snake works. I would highly implore you get one, or get a fake owl and set it up in a tree or a fence where they can see it. They'll run from it. But yeah, actually these onions, if I didn't say before, I don't want to repeat myself, but I'm going to. I got these off Amazon. And they came to me within just within just 4 days after they shipped them. So, I think that's where I'm going to look for most of my seeds. These independent companies, I mean, they go on Amazon too to sell stuff that they have. But, I mean, I wish I could find the company that did that and look them up. I don't think they have a website. It might be a local thing and they just decided to sell overstock. But later on this month, which is September now, I'm going to get the garlic that I harvested last year and put it in the ground. You'll actually see me. Hopefully I can have a tripod by then, or get my wife to hold the camera one. But yeah, it's very simple. You just break your head open, you soak your clothes, and you stick them in the ground. And they survive the winter. I mean, you put them in the ground in the fall, and you harvest them at the end of spring. And yes, they go dormant during the winter time. They don't grow very much, if at all, especially freezing, but they survive. All your leafy greens are your cold crops, your onions, your garlic, and they just survive cold weather and frost a whole lot better. Lettuce will stand there, and I mean, you can harvest it all winter, so you don't have to stop. You just have leafy greens, cabbage and I mean, anything you can think of that has a leaf on it, yeah, well, I said that wrong. Any of your salads and your leafy greens will grow in cold weather. So, yeah. And of course, your onions, and just does phenomenal. So, yeah, first time gardeners, you don't have to stop. Start planting now. Start getting your seeds. If you have to get them at a big box store, go ahead. I mean, you know, just make sure you leave enough room for the cabbage. If you don't know, they are huge. Space them like you would your zucchini and your squash, because they are massive. So, yeah. Keep growing. You can do it all year round. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. Subscribe, like the video. Doesn't cost you a dime, helps the channel out a ton. And thank you for watching.